Good morning, everybody. We're here now on our 5th morning, I believe. We've spent 4 nights. We left the village 5 days ago, and we spent 2 nights at this place. This is the olive orchard, olive tree grove, and originally we were going to spend more time here. We were thinking that this was going to be the perfect spot for us to sort of van life train the cats. For the most part, it has been. It's been a beautiful place. The weather's getting warmer. The cats love it. But there is that small problem, the tiny little problem of the golden jackals. So, yeah, they can't really be out at night. Right now, they're out during the day, which totally fine. The jackals are basically nocturnal, so they don't come out during the day, so they're safe. And the cats are pretty smart with sensing danger, and they'll run back to the van, which is something that we didn't know if they would do, because in the village they would run back to the house. But if we're away from the house, we don't know if they would know that the van is a safe place. But so far that's proven to be the case, so we're happy about that. And I would say overall cat training is doing good. And I suspect there's a number of you out there who don't follow our Instagram or hasn't been watching our Instagram stories, don't really know what's happening, why we have these cats, and maybe it's it's kind of strange to you that we're talking so much about these cats. So let me give you a little brief summary of what's going on here. For the last year that we've been in Croatia, we basically have been trying to isolate. When we came back from Morocco back in April of 2020, we came to Croatia because this is our country of residency while we're in Europe. We haven't left. We haven't left the country except for the 2 times that we crossed the little Bosnian border to get our vehicle out of the EU. Other than that, we've been staying inside Croatia the whole time, trying to isolate as much as we can. We have a place we can stay in the city of Split, which is the second biggest city in Croatia, an apartment, a really nice apartment that Marlene's parents own. And then also on the island of Hvar, we have a small stone house in the village in sort of central part of Hvar Island where Marlene's father grew up. So we can stay there too. And we've been sort of spending most of our time on the island. And at the beginning, we were spending a lot of our time in Split. And while we're on the island, we found a cat that was coming to us for food. And then quickly we realized, and this is back in like June, July, quickly we realized that this was a mama cat that had kittens, but she was hiding the kittens from us. And then around October, the kittens got big enough, and there were 5 of them. The kittens got big enough to come to us for food themselves. So long story short, we were trying to care for these kittens, and some of them came down with some infections, and they kind of transmitted it to each other. It's a pretty common infection that a lot of cats get on the island, and just wild stray cats in general get. 3 of them ended up passing away, and these 2 we captured and had them spayed and neutered. It's a boy and a girl. The boy's named Toby, and the girl is named Twin. They didn't want to be touched initially, so we had to capture them to get them spayed and neutered. And then with the girl, we had to keep her for a few days. And it got to the point where it was really cold outside, so they were sleeping inside. Eventually, they just became too domesticated to release. So now we're in this predicament where we have to figure out what to do with them. Preferably, we like a family with some land who loves cats, that have kids, to take them over and give them a good life. But if we can't find that situation, if we can't find a situation for them to be adopted, have a forever home that's better than what we can give them in the van, then we have to take them on, bring them with us when we travel. So just as a precaution, we're going to try to train them, to live in the van, which is what they're doing now. And while we're out trying to isolate in Croatia, we are seeing if they can be van trained. So that is why you're seeing a lot of cat content right now on our channel. Today we're gonna leave this place though because of those jackals. Those jackals are called chagol jackals. Chagol is the name, the Croatian name for them. So we've heard them called chugger wolves by some people on Facebook, but they are called golden jackals. That is their English name, and they are closer to wolves than coyotes, but they're essentially the same type of predator as coyotes that you're used to in North America. So not friendly to cats. So there's some stray cats, or at least village cats here that we see, and you know, they seem to have survived. So maybe the jackals don't come down here to the village. But last night they were howling again. Just for like 10-15 seconds we were inside the van, we could hear them really loudly, really clearly howling. And I tried to go outside to get a video or audio recording of the howling, but you know, by the time I got out there they stopped and I couldn't find them. They didn't howl again, and I couldn't get out of the van fast enough because I wanted to make sure I was able to get out, but the cats were not going to follow. When we do leave today though, we'll probably go to the island of Korčula, which is a short little ferry from this peninsula, the PELJESAC peninsula, to get to. And on the island there aren't any jackals, you know, because it's a mainland only thing. If you look at their sort of territory where they exist in the world, it's mostly southeastern Europe, and it spans all the way over to like India, but not in Istria and not in like, you know, the Zagreb part of like older Croatia. It's just in Croatia anyways, it's just in Slavonia and Dalmatia. That's the only two areas of Croatia that exist. But yeah, they came from, I think, the India part of Asia originally, but they've not made it to the islands. So by the time we get to Korčula Island, the cats should be safe. There should be far less predators for them to roam around. So we'll try to find a place like this on Korčula and see what happens. So we're gonna pack up the van now. We'll take you guys along for this little ride to the town. We used up about 20 gallons of water in these last 4 nights, and we're gonna need to empty our toilet again. So it's a good day for us to go out and try to find water, refill, and place to empty our toilet. Show me what you're drawing.
Person. YouTuber.
Who is it?
In a skirt. YouTuber called Tommy in it.
Yeah, is this a contest drawing?
No,
or just for fun?
I'm just drawing. I drew it from the feet up.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna also do a drawing from the
Is
feet
that
up.
something you did on purpose?
No, me and Ava having a just drawing to the feet up.
What do you get if you win?
Wait.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What's happening?
What are you doing?
Oh, the car coming. He's scared.
Oh.
Very cute. No face.
Yeah, I can't draw faces. Faces are hard.
Working your way up to the face. So here it is. This is a little town called OREBIC. And we've never been here before. We've driven up the PELJESAC Peninsula 2 other times at least, maybe 3. But this is our first time going this way, because usually we come up and then we go to the right to go to Terpan, which will take put us on a ferry back to the mainland at Ploče. Here, when you go to OREBIC, you go on a ferry to go to Korčula, which is right across the way. You can see it. It's really close, and it's a pretty short ferry that comes every hour, back and forth, back and forth. So we got here just in time to have time to fill up water. There's a little spigot of water there that we can fill up our water jugs, which worked out perfectly. And right across the way, there's like a public restroom, toilet. So we empty maybe 1.5 gallons of black water into the toilet, flushed it, cleaned it up. You know, everything's cool. So now we're just gonna get on this ferry that just arrived. It was how much for our van and 5 people? It was 175, I think. 175 kuna, which is about, what is that, like $30, 25 to $30. And I think this is the way that we'll come back as well. So we'll go to the island of Korčula. There's a bunch of little islands over here too. You can see the town of Korčula. That's the biggest town, I think. And the second biggest one is Vela Luka on the other end of the island. So we don't know how many days we'll spend over there. Couple, 3, 4, depending on how things look. If we find some cool spots, we may stay a while. But the nice thing is, because of this ferry and this water being in the way, no jackals. The ferry is really empty. Look at all this empty space down there. But I really like this town. This town's cool. So quiet here right now. There's hardly anybody. It's not even April yet, so the season won't start for another couple months. But of course, pandemic, right? We do see a couple of other foreign plates. We saw an Italian plate and a Slovakian plate on the ferry. So we're not the only foreigners in Croatia right now. But these people, they could be Croatians that live outside of the country, and you know, they're just in Croatia, or they could be tourists. We don't know. But I always think that people wonder about us. What are these Americans with California plates doing here? But really, we've been in Europe for 3 years now almost, and living in Croatia for pretty much this last whole year. But it feels good. It feels good to be out exploring someplace new again on our way to Korčula. So we found a spot at the easternmost end of the island of Korčula. It is on this app called Park for Night, and we had to drive down some pretty narrow roads and gravel, dirt, rocks, through some trees, through some people's gardens and farms, and we finally found it. It's just this little platform right there, which is kind of interesting because you can tell that there was something built here before. There's some steel and concrete at this little flat part, and all along this coastline has some kind of manhole covers showing that there was at some point some infrastructure here. And then this little part of this this island connects to like a little round thing. As you can tell, I'm standing right on the part that connects. This could be its own island if this little piece of land wasn't here. It's pretty narrow. It's probably from this end to that end, maybe 75 yards, less than 100 yards for sure. And then over here, it's like a little part that sticks out with some trees growing just out of sheer rocks. So we're gonna go explore that a little bit today. And on the other side of it, there's a small lighthouse looking thing. So we're gonna walk over there and check that out too. The cats are here. The cats are here. They can tell. It's funny how they can tell that we're at a place out in nature, that they don't have to be scared, because just before we got on the ferry, we stopped at a grocery store to load up on some more supplies, and they knew to not come out because we're in a parking lot and there were cars and people walking by. So they mostly stayed inside. At first they thought about coming out and then they went back in, but here they just came right out. It's like they knew, even though they can hear the sea kind of washing up against the shoreline, and it's rocks. There's no more olive trees, so it's different environment for sure, but they felt comfortable. In fact, maybe they're gonna come on the walk with us, following Marlene. All this training we did in the village of taking walks with them might be paying off right now. These are hiking cats. I don't know what this thing is, but maybe we'll do some research and figure out why all this stuff is here. There's also this there. I don't know what it is. I mean, yes, I know what it is. It's a cross. It looks like somebody's buried here. Don't know why. Don't know who, but we will also do some research for maybe tomorrow's video. If I find out more information about this place, I'll let you guys know in tomorrow's video. I think this video's gone long enough today. Oh, by the way, we also found out that the jackals actually are on this island of Korčula. So, yeah, we didn't really escape them. Somehow they got on here, either by boat or swam, I guess. I don't know if they swim. They could. If they're in the wolf family, they're certainly capable of dog paddling over here. So we still gotta keep an eye on them, unfortunately. At nighttime, they gotta come in and make sure they don't go too far. But where we are, though, on this part of the island, is probably relatively safe, just because they're going to be more on the interior of the island than over here on the easternmost edge. So anyways, we're going to finish up this walk, go set up camp. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.